Hello gainers, I'm Ralphie and welcome to my little channel called Fitter Philosophy, in which I talk about stoic, life experienced, philosophical stuff which really is designed to help us focus more objectively in our own lives, to gain more, experience more, grow more, and to give more back to those around us who are worth our time and worth our effort. And my topic today is conversation. The most important conversations that we have in life. And it may seem okay that I'm talking about our people we love, friends, family, the important people in our life that we chat to and talk to. But in fact, the most important conversations that we have are with ourselves. Now, it can be, and it's perfectly legitimate, that you can stand in front of a mirror and actually talk directly to yourself with a one-way conversation. That's actually, it makes a lot of sense. It's really good practice because ourselves are the one individual in our lives that we just presume that we think through our self-worth, self-recognition and self-references through engagement with other people, with friends, with work colleagues, with the wider society. And this is one reason why the wider society generates and attempts to impose the white noise of ambient narrative on every single one of us to steer attention away from the conversation with ourselves to the conversation with other stuff, not necessarily people. You can have this situation where, well, I like this artist's music and therefore I want to know more about this artist and what they think and what they say. And you've got to remember that they're working to a script, they're under contract, it's all about the money, and importantly it's all about penalties should they deviate from the extremely long and opaque contracts that they're given, and therefore they have to stick to a certain script. You'll know when they aren't because they start to disappear from view. Their albums don't appear so much. We're encouraged to create our own narrative, our own points of reference by what is fed to us through selective social media, which is becoming increasingly selective. So as soon as we sign in, we will be given content and content directed at us, which it is perceived by the matrix is really what we're interested in and what is suitable for us. And in amongst it, you will clearly see the propaganda. Blatant, disingenuous propaganda. The sort of propaganda that used to be the monopoly of printed media before printed media became out of date. So that legacy newspapers and magazines, they basically say, right, this is lifestyle choices. This is why you have to earn more money and pay more taxes, so you can buy more bling. So you can buy more of what we tell you is bling, not what you think is bling. Therefore, sure, if we've got a good few friends, and a few friends is all we need, that are of good quality, we can have deep and meaningful exchanging conversations with them. But nobody should know us better than ourselves. And to know ourselves better, we need to have this conversation. There may be words involved, standing in front of a mirror. Often there's no need. Just to sit in silent contemplation, to know ourselves a little bit better than before. Understand the complexities of our strength, the complexities of our weakness. Understand the hierarchy of the friendships and engagements we have with other humans around us. Who are the humans we want to engage more with? Who less so? Never underestimate the strength, the companionship, and the quality of narrative that we can have with pets. Cats, dogs, rabbits. Animals are more in tune with the natural world. Humans are dislocated from the natural world. That is one reason why nature around us, in the presence of humans, tends to get littered, exploited, and used either overtly or more subtly in the interests of preservation, conservation, and the psychological manipulation of narrative in order for humans to continue to think that they own the planet. And this brings us back to really understanding where the distractions are, understanding how much power they can have, and how we have to give ourselves time. We really have to give ourselves time to detune and then decouple slightly from this narrative, which encourages us to exist more than live. Living is about more than existing. The purpose of life is simple: to experience it. It's really that simple. The purpose of life is to experience it as a single, meat-bound, biological entity containing a person. And that person can be more attached and more sensitive or less so. Often most of us are somewhere in the middle, and all we have to do is just become a little more sensitive in our attachment to ourselves and to the fullness of the world around us, beyond the narrative, beyond the dogma, beyond the superficiality of basically the puppeteering that goes on in the species, from directions that humans are barely even aware of. Even those who are the manipulators, no matter what their state is, they are manipulated, and they don't realise how much. Only do they start to get a clue in their darkest moments and in a deepest silence, when they are in touch with death beyond life. So talk to yourself. Feel free to do so. The very best of people have talked to themselves. Scientists, artists, philosophers. The Greeks were well renowned for it. They turned it into an art. The objective conversation with the self in front of a mirror. Presenting problems by the self to be solved by the self, with reference to books, to the wit and the wisdom of others who have got valuable contribution to make. I'm Ralphie. I'm done here. Have a good day.